We, the lovers of old GMs and small blocks, need to quit hating on the 305. Look, I get these things in stock form. Did not make a bunch of power. They were not born in an era of performance engines, okay? The biggest performance engine 305 that GM made was the LB9 in the 3rd Gen Firebird and Camaro. But look, Power Nation took a 305, okay, in its stock form, so we'll say stock style rotating assembly, so a 3.48 inch crank, 5.7 rods, and I think it was like 30 or 60 over pistons, all right? And they made 415 horsepower and like 390 pound-feet of torque out of a 305 engine. That's pretty dang good. That ain't a boat anchor. And then, when they stroked it and gave it like 11.1 or 11.2 compression, it made over 500 horsepower and like 430 pound-feet of torque. That is not a crappy engine. Now look, anytime you build an engine, all right, and I'm not talking just like a simple backyard rebuild, you know, where you're just throwing in new rings and new gaskets and all that stuff. When you're building something that has more performance in it, you are going to spend money, all right? Everything for this build that I am doing, I could buy a 383 stroker, completely dressed from bottom to top, ready to go, drop in, right? And it will not make the same amount of horsepower as my 305 build that I'm doing is going to make. We'll have a little bit more torque because obviously bigger piston, more torque because there's more force going down on the crank. But you don't even have to go all out and stroke the damn thing and you're over 400 horsepower. A good set of the Trick Flow 175 heads are going to run you about $1,500. You get some Hyper-Eutectic flat top pistons and a nice new set of rods because honestly, if your stock rods are probably either going to need work or you're going to have to get new ones anyways. You know, give them a nice cam intake manifold. You're looking at about $3,500 to build yourself a decent high 300, low 400 horsepower engine. And that's what a lot of people do with their 350s anyways. They're making around that, okay? Sadly, the 305, like I mentioned earlier, was just not born in an area of performance, but you can build them. And they can put out decent numbers close to what a 350 will make too. Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but it will be close. Just like how a 283 is never going to be the same performance monster as a 327. Or like how a 350 is never going to match up to a 400 in built form. But we've got to quit knocking these engines and knocking people that build them because they are not crap. You just got to know what you're doing. Anyways, that's all I got. I'm going to start taking my engine out of the car and build my 340 cubic inch small block Chevy. And I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it.